Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this Valentine's weekend. I hope you've already taken care of all that stuff and you're not all at Walgreens right now.
Well, I want to wish every young lady and every lady out there happy Valentine's.
We're not getting any candy ourselves. You know, I mean...
I hope they give me lots of it.
I hope they do, too. Yeah. I thought you might bring some in today. You know? Boy, golly, I thought you'd gone by Dinstall's and got me some chocolate-covered strawberries. I bet Ron McSwain, when he comes in later, will have all sorts of goodies for us.
I know he will.
Yeah, I know he will,
You know, he's a very thoughtful person.
Hey, speaking of...
And he doesn't forget.
Speaking of thoughtful person who doesn't forget, hey, you know, next weekend... of course, we got the Nashville show going on this weekend that Expo South it's going on. But next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Agri Center, the 52nd Annual Mid-South Sports and Boat Show. And not only do you have a chance to rub shoulders with a lot of folks and get to see all the latest boats and see all the latest fishing tackle, the trout pond, all these different kind of things, but also as part of your ticket, there'll be more than 12 hours of seminars. And, of course, we got to get this guy in the seminar because it's one of the most popular seminars that we do. And I don't know if anybody, you know, Ron Wong loves to bass fish, but I think this guy likes to fish too. And that's our good friend, Big Jim Napier, out of Springville, Tennessee. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
All right. We're ready for you to come, Jim. You ready?
I'm ready.
You're
looking forward to coming to Memphis. I love the barbecue, so I'm excited about that as well.
And, you know, Jim, talking about barbecue.
Oh, here we go. Food again.
You know, a lot of people don't know this, and I hope you bring some for everybody to see and where they can purchase. You have your own line of seasonings that you also produce and put out. And I got to tell you, some good stuff.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of the Anything Sauce, and the product is a no gluten, no MSGs, no sugars and salts, and I mean it's really a good product. It's healthy, and I kind of wanted to go with that kind of an idea because of what's going on in the world today. We really got to tighten up and watch what we're eating and
absolutely
make sure that we're putting the right stuff in our bodies.
Wow. Well, we're going to have to get some of that to give away on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Yeah, you done stunned me here. I know Jim is into everything.
Yeah, you didn't know this, did you?
I did not know this
but
about
I have
the
to tell you,
sauce.
I know about it. I've seen his seasonings and sauces.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know Jim has been a part of the show for several years, and but you're going to have a special guest before we talk fishing a little bit about tell us about a special guest you're going to have in your booth out there, probably on Saturday and Sunday during the show. Who's coming with you?
Well, it's exciting to say, you know, Fishing with the Stars has been a great honor for me, and I'm excited to tell you that one of the survivors of the plane crash for Leonard Skinner, which was Ronnie Van Zant's bodyguard, who wrote a book about Leonard Skinner, will be in my booth, and he will be selling his book and doing autographs and meet and greet and talking about the events of Leonard Skinner while he was out on the road. And, man, I'm excited to have him there. And you never know who will come with him because the other members sometimes show up. And in Nashville alone, there's a few members of Leonard Skinner that live there.
Yeah.
And it's a possibility that they'll show up in Nashville or even Memphis.
Wow.
I've already been talking to a few of them and some of the former members and some of the current members.
And this is Gene Odom. Gene Odom will be at the booth, and he was the former bodyguard for Ronnie Van Zant?
Ronnie Van Zant.
Wow.
He actually was on the plane when it crashed and was thrown from the plane underneath the plane.
Wow.
And survived the accident. And
so
the
awesome.
book is an all-tell about the whole life of being with Leonard Skinner. And if you look at the reviews of the book,
I've looked at
everyone is just amazed at the story. And it's a really good read book, and it's something you'll be excited to read and learn about.
It's got to be a movie. I mean, this is really so. Not only are you going to get to talk fishing with Fishing with the Stars guy himself, and maybe get some seasoning with Big Jim Napier, but Gene Odom's going to be in the booth and talk about Leonard Skinner, which was back in the late 60s or something along that line, or when the plane crashed? I can't remember when the plane crashed.
It was in the 70s.
70s,
and
okay.
There's a lot of stories that people don't realize, like Gene and Artemis Pyle were on the plane together, and this is something that never even made the papers, but Artemis Pyle, the former drummer of Leonard Skinner, who was on the plane crash, left the plane scene when it crashed, after they crashed, and he went to go try to get help, and he was actually shot by the farmer that owned the land because he thought they were burning their crops.
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
So there is so much information you're going to learn, and I beg people to come to the show.
Yes.
If they're Skinner fans, to come out and see us and meet us and ask all the questions you want to ask, because Gene is a great guy, and you're going to enjoy the time with him.
I can't wait to do that. And, of course, we always enjoy the time with Big Jim Napier here because, he is he's got this guy shouldn't really be here. Cancer at the age of 6 months, survived that. His mom has been his life thread, right? I mean, it really kept you going. You didn't really know about your dad until you found out later that he was an Alaskan fishing guide and broke records and everything up there and was a hero and all. You got a story to tell too, buddy. I mean, and then
I appreciate it. And the sauce that I if you go in Kroger's and get you a bottle of anything sauce, you're going to see my picture on the side of the bottle, so you can't miss it.
Yes,
right.
That big ugly-headed guy,
And
but there's a story involved in that. We raise money for Vanderbilt Children's Hospital.
That's awesome. That's a great facility.
And that's really why I did what I did with anything sauces, more so to help and promote and do things for good health and bring awareness to children with cancer.
Wow.
And
it's just amazing.
It's kind of paying it forward.
And for those of you that don't know where Springville, Tennessee is, that's actually on the shores of Kentucky Lake, near Buchanan, near Paris Landing, and all that.
Yes.
And
that's exactly right.
And I got to tell you, go out there, and Jim can talk fishing. He's got a line of products that he promotes and is sponsored by. That's pretty amazing too. So you need to go by and see Big Jim at his booth there at the sports show.
Now, he wanted me to mention.
And he's got an RV park.
Yes, he does, and I know that. We're going to talk about that. But he mentioned a little bit about this mercury problem on Kentucky Lake, Ron.
Big Sandy River.
Yeah. Now, Jim, I know Ron's familiar with this, and we don't have a whole lot of time, but that's a concern for you and other people up in that area, right?
It's an absolute concern for the whole nation because we're worried about the fish that are being taken from this water and eaten in other places. So I went to a meeting the other night with the wildlife and the water control people and the mayor, and everybody was there at the state park. And there is a serious issue down in Big Sandy area that has to be addressed, and we're trying to figure out the best solution. The bass right now are at a no-eat. You shouldn't eat the bass right now out of that area. They have not tested the crappie or the catfish yet, and the results from it are from 2009, so we're a little disturbed about finding out about it now.
Yeah.
These results are from 2009. You can read about it on a lot of different links. If you Google it, you'll see that it's not the only place that's having the issue. Pickwick, this entire state of Kentucky has issued a warning for a no-eat fish. And you know what? Right now, I think it's a sport fish situation right now. We need to just catch and release anyways. But I think it's best if you kind of know where your fish is coming from.
Yeah,
if you're going to eat it.
Yeah, and I've read quite a bit about it, and of course that meeting that you attended there with the environmental agency and TWRA was attended by a lot of people because there was a lot of questions about it. And right now, it based on what I have read, the crappie are still okay.
Well, they have not tested for the crappie yet.
Right,
so
that's right.
I tend to believe that crappie and bass eat the same, live the same, and swim the same.
Yeah. And
so I would be concerned, and myself personally, I would be concerned with not eating that fish right now until we know for sure that it's safe.
And what they're also trying to do is to determine the source of the mercury. Now there are talks and there's some speculation that it could be airborne, but and then they are not sure about discharges in certain areas.
Well, actually, at the meeting, they said the discharges were one concern, airborne was another concern,
Right.
and there was 2 bridges that were submerged that a company's coming to take out. That were from Muscle Shoals.
Really?
That were, yeah, and that was what they announced at this meeting, that they were going to have those bridges removed that were sunk in the river down there that were covered in mercury.
Wow. Well, there's going to be a lot of discussion. I wanted to throw that in there again, but Big Jim Napier will be next weekend at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show, Friday through Sunday. He'll have a booth there. He's going to be one of our seminar speakers. We appreciate Jim doing that.
I'm grateful that they bring me every year.
Yeah,
you know, I've been there for a couple of years now, and I'm very blessed to be able to come out and spend time with the fans out there. And you know, that's the biggest thing for me is knowing that I make a difference.
Well,
and
we know
I want to try
that.
to do the right thing for everybody as well as you guys. And you guys have always been great to me, and I really appreciate the Memphis fans and the Memphis people that come from the surrounding areas. Please come out to the show. I want you to come out and see the new products, see what everybody's got to offer. The boats are amazing at this place. There's everything. I mean, if you're missing it, you can get it there.
This is where it all starts for spring. Make us think of good springs and warmer weather, things along that line.
Absolutely.
Jim, have a great one this weekend in Nashville, and we will see you in Memphis next weekend. Okay, buddy?
We will be glad to be there, and we thank you all, and God bless you.
All right,
Jim,
thanks, Jim.
Take care.
Take care. All right. Of course, I'm partial to anybody named Big Jim. You know, I was always.
Well, he's a pretty big guy.
I was always called Little Larry. You know, I mean, that's just the way it was. You know, I mean,
both of us.
You don't see a lot of guys called like that, you know, but Big Jim, mine was on, here comes Little Larry, watch out. You know, that was always a scary thought.
Yeah, but it's always good to have a Big Jim around a Little Larry, too.
Yeah, Little Ron. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's right.
Yeah, me and you put together wouldn't make Big Jim. You
Absolutely,
know, so
you're right on.
All right, let's take a break. Ron Wong is in-house. Greg Ratliff is our show producer. We now have an audience in here. He comes early every time. Ron McSwain's has slipped in. We're going to talk a little bit with Ron here toward the end of the show because he's got a special guest coming to Memphis here real soon. If you haven't seen the Kingdom Dog Ministry of Hank Hope, Huff, it's amazing. And that's Ron's cell phone going off. That's probably Hank calling him. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
Find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.